I am officially writing a letter to the NHL organization of idiot refs who are blind, deaf, and are already refs. I am Owen Beatty, and you are listening to the Three Thumbs Up podcast. I have three thumbs, get over it, and I am very, very, very upset. Very, very upset. Does upset explain the feelings I'm feeling right now towards the NHL and in particular the NHL officiators, the NHL refs, if that's what you can call them. Are they even refs or are they just bystanders who when they make a call they flip a coin? Is this the NFL? Who gets puck first? Huh? NHL? I am so mad. Last night was horrendous. One of the most horrendously officiated games I have seen in a long time. You see them every season, and it just seems to happen to Montreal a lot more. It, I'm not being biased or anything like that, it just happens. See, I'm not even going to talk about the two games before that, Washington Buffalo. I will talk about that in a minute. I just want to get the thing that is newest and hot in the news right now, in NHL news. So, Montreal faced off against the New York Rangers. The rivalry continues, and the refs continue to be disgraceful to this beautiful game we call hockey, puck and sticks. That's what it's called. The Montreal Canadiens fought the fought. I don't know. I think it was Montreal versus the Rangers and the refs and crybaby Henrik Lundqvist. Let me get to that. So so there was a WWE pay-per-view yesterday, and after the first period of this game, I started watching the pay-per-view because I had a friend over. My dad was watching it too. It was a good pay-per-view. All in all, it was a really good pay-per-view. That it didn't disappoint me like the NHL does. So, where do I start? First period, there was a scramble in front of Henrik Lundqvist. Shaw kicks it over to Lundqvist, goes off his pad. He cries to the ref, like absolutely insane. Like after a child lost his candy. It's 2017. Oh, and he or she, I don't care. I don't assume. I don't assume anything. He complained. The refs are like, "Hello. So what are we gonna do about this? So are we biased against the Montreal Canadiens, or just like the Rangers always go over because it's always a good story out of New York? Patriotism, am I right? It was bloody awful. I sound like a Brit. Bloody awful. It was disgraceful that the way that game was officiated. So, and the weird thing is, whoever coaches New York, I'm pretty sure I know his name, but I don't want to say it and be like, something French, but that's not his name. Uh, it just happened. Where do I start? Where do I go from here? So the way he didn't even this didn't officially count as an official review from the coach. The refs just decided to be like, let's check it out. I don't think they're allowed to do that if the coach doesn't ask for it. And they didn't count it as a goal. It could have gone 50-50, but I think it should have been a goal. I mean, he did kick it off a Lundqvist. It went off Lundqvist and hit. It was a scramble. You couldn't really tell. And the evidence, you have to prove that there was no interference or no kicking motion because it counted as a goal. That's the job of the ref, to see if there was kicking motion and that it wasn't a good goal, because it still counted. And they're like, oh my god. So this is what I'm trying to connect to. Then Montreal gets another chance. Shea Weber blasts it towards the net, goes off of Pacioretty or something like that. Pacioretty gets hit into Lundqvist off of McDonough, and it goes Pacioretty hits Lundqvist because Lundqvist because he was hit by McDonough into Lundqvist. And the goal, they're reviewing it. This was an official review from the ref, so I don't see how you can have two reviews. It's ridiculous the way they officiated that. The goal didn't count, and what did I say after that happened? I was screaming for one. I'm like, you know what? This is the way the world works. Montreal gets plenty of chances. We get screwed out of our goals, and then New York's going to score a weird goal, and that'll be it. That's the way the game went. It's like a game when I play NHL 18 online. I get all the chances, I get all the power play chances in the world, and I get screwed out of them. That's the way the world works, and that's the way the NHL works. So I just don't know anymore. It seems this always happens early into the season for Montreal, like last season, the Patrick Kane thing. I don't want to go off on that again. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Tremendous goal, but earlier on the play, it went up into the net. I don't want to talk about it. It's disappointing, like that game. Disappointing. Does that ring a bell? Refs, I have no idea what game you're watching. Maybe you're watching the Leafs game, or the Jets game, or the Flyers game, but you're not watching the Rangers Montreal game, because this game could have easily been 2-2. Carey Price, how can you blame him this game? He played phenomenal. Lundqvist is just whiny. He's whiny as all hell. I mean, I guess that's his job to make sure there aren't goals. He's like a lawyer, for the love of God. He just went out there and he complained about everything. Well, they got it back. What goals? What goals, Owen? Well, apparently they don't know how to call goals. That was a good goal, and if you're not an idiot like everybody else in that arena, sorry, New York, not sorry, refs, because you deserved it. My phone is going off. Twitter, can you stop? Nothing important is happening. Yeah, we know Buffalo lost, whatever, against the Devils. Yeah, they lost. Yeah, oh, yeah. Who cares? Who cares about the Devils? Who cares about Buffalo? They're my American team. I don't really care. I'm talking about New York and how terrible the officiating is. I've said that how many times now? I'm hitting my computer. It's friggin' ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I was so upset last night. I was very how do I say this without being so rude? The refs shouldn't have jobs. They should be playing in Pee Wee, but I don't even think kids deserve that kind of officiating. They don't know what they don't know. They're just doing it just they're siding with the home crowd because they don't want their balls to get chopped off on the way out of Madison Square Garden. That's the way the world is. They side so they don't get their balls cut off. It's 2017, maybe they don't have balls. No, they don't have balls. They're NHL refs. I'm sorry to all the other good refs. I'm sure there's some good refs out there. I know there's good refs out there. There are good refs out there, but the refs tonight, especially the one who was like, "No goal! No goal! No goal!" He was waving his arms like an air traffic control guy, like with the thingy majiggers and the wavy things. Oh my god, that was uh oh my god. I'm getting this all out, so this isn't even the most disappointing thing. This is just the most recent disappointing thing with the Montreal Canadiens. It's I'm getting this out of the way now. I'm getting out all the way. See, I'm going backwards. I'm going from the Rangers to Washington and Ovechkin, and then at Buffalo. Yay! So, the Rangers, NHL refs, here's my letter to the NHL officials. Dear NHL officials, I am an NHL fan and a very big Montreal Canadiens fan, and it always seems you play against us. I mean, it's your job to officiate, and yeah. Sometimes you get it right, and a lot of the times you get it wrong. So I'm writing you to tell you to get your eyes checked, to get your ears checked, and to get your ego checked because you have some very serious issues there. Going out there with your big voice and your big manly zebra sweater saying no goal, no goal. If you are listening to this and you're a smart NHL fan, if you're in the first percentile, you know how that should have been a goal. Don't don't be one of those people if you are listening to this, and I don't care if there is anybody listening to this because I love listening to my voice, dang it. If there is anybody listening to this, I'm trying to be serious, Owen. I am yelling, I'm ranting about the NHL officials. We are starting this early in the season with absolute garbage. It's despicable. Despicable Me 3 out in theaters now. I've never, I haven't even seen it yet. I don't know, is it good? It's Minions, or I don't like Minions. I don't like, oh my god. Ah. What am I going off on? The NHL refs. What is? I'm just kidding. It makes me sad. My heart is beating at a million my piles. Piles don't beat, Owen. What is this? Only drums and hearts beat. Ugh. Is that why they call it a heart? Is that why they call it a heartbeat? Because it sounds like... Never mind. I'm stupid. I get it. I'm a Montreal Canadiens fan. This is just how the world works. This is how the world runs. Boy or girl, it's 2017. I don't judge. That may have been just seconds for you, but I did just leave and have a great Thanksgiving dinner. Thanksgiving dinner. It was great, even though I don't like even though I don't like ham. I'm against ham. Ugh. Turkey was frozen, but you know what? I just enjoyed myself, We had some pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie is the best in the world. And you know what made me happy? I stopped thinking about the madness that is the NHL for a few minutes because I was having pumpkin pie. Pumpkin pie is my happy place. Hockey is supposed to be my happy place. Hockey is supposed to be the place where I go to feel okay. And do you know what I end up? Do you know why I end up with scars and broken hearts? Heart, I only have one heart, so just one broken heart. That's how I feel. That's how I felt. That's how I felt after the Rangers game, even though I did watch the WWE pay-per-view, Hell in a Cell. It was great. Shane McMahon fell 20 feet to his doom. That was great. Uh, so do you want to hear disappointment or the good first? Or do we just leave the good for later? Since I started with the Rangers, I'll work my way back. So, am I done talking about the officiating? It was garbage. Absolutely horrendous. And if you want to tell me I'm wrong, go right ahead. I will fight you. I will fist fight you. I'm not even joking. I'll fist fight you with words because I'm a good person. I don't fight people, not because I'm a wuss, but because I'm better with my words. As I fumble my words every podcast because I get nervous around you, you know that? I get nervous around you. You know who you are. I get nervous around you. The awkward silence is great, isn't it? You can just hear the wind outside. I don't even know if you can hear that. I don't even know if my mic can pick that up. But the wind is outside. It's around 7:22 right now, and I just had Thanksgiving dinner. I did the dishes, and I feel great. I feel good. You know what I don't feel good about? Montreal versus Washington. Now, Montreal played Washington on Saturday. Saturday, whatever date it was. It was a couple days ago. I don't even care. I don't even remember the game. I don't want to talk about it. Fine, let's talk about it. So, I was tweeting that the game was starting, and I was on my phone for like 2 seconds, and Washington goes up 1-0. Guess who scored? Ovechkin. Guess who scored again? Seconds later. Ovechkin. And then Montreal fell into the Earth's crust. We plummeted into the Earth's core. Do you remember that movie where the scientists tried to restart the Earth's core? Well, Washington blew up the Earth's core. Anybody remember that movie? Not the one. Yeah, Washington. Washington. Yes, Washington. We lost 6-1 that game. Who scored the only goal? I'm trying to think. Was it? I think it was. Was it Philip Daniel? Do you want me to check? Does anybody really care about that one goal? Montreal got. I know it wasn't Victor Mete, and I don't really care because I can't speak. I told you how I was good with my words, and I'm just not good with my words. Is that like my slogan? Or my thing, my gimmick? It isn't even a gimmick, I just stumble my words sometimes. Victor Mete. Let's talk about the positives. Victor Mete is really, 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 really good at hockey. During the Hockey Night in Canada segment, Coach's Corner, Don Cherry was like, back in Pee Wee, you know? No, that's Babcock. You know, back in Pee Wee, you know, Connor McDavid and, you know, Victor Mete. Victor Mete was faster than Connor McDavid. Really doesn't matter. It was Pee Wee, but Victor Mete is a great skater. I haven't seen a defenseman since PK. 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 Sorry. I haven't seen a defenseman who can skate that well, who can get the puck and just do simple passes out of the zone into the zone. Since PK Subban, I haven't really seen a defenseman that can do that. Shea Weber can't do that. He can shoot the puck and lay the body. Petrie? Nah, he can snipe sometimes, but he's not really. He's slow. He's. Who else do we got? Strite. Some of the plays he made in that game made him look like an AHLer up against Gretzky, for the love of God. He didn't look very well. He didn't look good in the slightest. Unless Hemsky, don't even get me started. I have found my scapegoat. I have found the next David Desharnais for the Montreal Canadiens. The person that I hate most. Hemsky. How many penalties does he have in 3 games? He's like 6 or something around that. He needs to stop slashing people. I know the refs have been awful the past 3 games, but like how do you expect not to go in the box when that's all you do? Why is Hemsky on the first line power play unit? Why is he with Druin and Pacioretty? Why is a has-been former playmaker up on the first power play extra man unit? You want your extra man to be Hemsky? Hemsky, 30 whatever year old. Nobody cares about Hemsky on the. Why isn't anybody talking about this? This reminds me of Andrew Shaw last year. Why was Andrew Shaw on the top power play unit? Why was he even on the power play at all? I get penalty kill, all of that, like the two-way forward style. But why? Why on the power play? Why was David Desharnais on the power play unit? No. How do they keep getting the call to play these top line minutes? Hemsky isn't even 4th line material. He's maybe good in the AHL. He just can't. He can't shoot the puck, and He just can't pass. He doesn't know how to get it out of his zone, and he doesn't know how to keep a defenseman off of him. It's ridiculous. Oh, I'm getting mad about this too. It's a mad fest right now. Mad Fest 2017 here from Ontario, Canada. That's quite specific, Owen. No, you you trade in guys like Markov and Radulov for guys like Hemsky and friggin' Straight. And Mark Bergevin has the audacity. Am I even using the right word? I don't even care. He had the guts to say, oh, our defensive core is better than last year. Our defensive core last year, we had Petrie, Weber, Markov, Jordy Ben, somebody else. This year, we have Weber, we have Streit, we have Petrie, we have injured Schlemko, which I'm excited to see him get into lineup. He's actually a quite solid defenseman. We have Mate, who is a very, very good plus. We have Brandon Davidson. Brendan Davidson. Have you ever heard that name in your life? His number is 88. That's how many times he makes awful moves in the defensive zone a game. I don't know how Marc Bergevin and Claude Julien keep letting this happen. How? Give me one good reason why Hemsky deserves to be on a top power play line. You know what? Let me go check out his stats. You're gonna say, "Oh, he used to be really good at hockey." Let me hockey DB. Let me check out his stats. His former stats. Come on. Hemsky. I always think there's a P in his name. Where's the P? There we go. Ales Hemsky. Drafted in the first round, 13th overall in 2001. Let's see his points. First year, 30. I'm going to go down from 2002 to current year. He had 30, 34. He was in the Czech Republic in 2005. Year after that, he had 77 points. Good for him. 53, 71, 66, 22, 42, 36. He was in Czech again. 20, 26, 17, 32, 39, 7 in 15 games. Oh my god. Yeah, he had some great seasons. The Oilers sucked. Did he provide anything? Oh, but the Oilers made the Stanley Cup. Who cares? Did they do anything after that? He had a long, tender career with Edmonton, and did they do anything at all? He was probably on their top power play. He was probably on their top power play unit too. But this is 2018. 2017-2018 season. 16 years. No. No. He's 34. And then you'll use my rant or my thing about Yager, how you need veterans. This is not the veteran you want on your team. He's unreliable in the defensive zone. He can't produce that. And you see, here is my ideal top power play unit. You have your left winger, Pacioretty. You have your centerman, Drouin. And then you have your right winger, throw anybody else up there. Chucky, Gallagher, anybody else. And you know what? I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Plekanec has looked fine. I'm not going to say great because he hasn't really done a whole lot. But he hasn't looked like a fourth-line garbage player. He has actually looked quite decent in the last few games. 3 games, he's getting his shots on net, and he's clearing the puck when he has to. That's his job. I'm pretty sure he's on the PK unit. PK. Benel Carlson. I'm getting upset about that. Again, stop it, Owen. Stop it, dang it. I don't get how you put him on the top line unit. I just don't. I don't get it. Honestly, I'm moving along. You know what? I'm hoping he gets off of that power play unit eventually. I'm hoping they just scratch him. I'm pretty sure Montreal scratched him last. No, they scratched Strite because he didn't deserve to be in the New York game. It's not like it would have helped any. Blah blah blah. Ovechkin continued to score that game, and Nathan Walker, the first I'm pretty sure that's his name. Nathan Walker, the first Australian player to ever play in the NHL, scored his first goal. It was a shot from Devontae Smith-Pelly, former Montreal Canadiens, who I really didn't like. It went off of his back, and the first goal by an Australian-born player. He wasn't actually born in Australia, but he lived in Australia. He's Australian-born. Get over it. I don't really care. I don't think Ron McLean was born in Canada, so I'm checking that out now. I don't want to. Ron McLean. I don't want to spell that wrong. Ron McLean. Where was he born? Where was he born? He was born in Germany. So shut your face about. I'm going off on this. He was born in Germany. I'm making sure. I know I was right because I listened to him on the Steve Dangle podcast. Great show. Great show. He's one of the most down-to-earth people I've ever heard speak ever. Ever. I wish I had two middle names. His is Joseph and Corbett. It's cool. Cool. Where was I? Ovechkin. Nathan Walker. Nathan Walker. Good for him. Congratulations. I just... Maybe you Montreal just played terrible. Carey Price was pulled after the first period. Yeah, it makes sense. You want to play him in the game the day after, which really didn't help much because the refs did another thing like usual. Congrats to Nathan Walker. You know what? There's 4,000 registered Australian players in the world, in Australia, whatever. Get over it. I don't really care. Good for him being the first. That's a big step for a country which is more involved in hockey than a country like China. Good for. There's only like 1,000 registered players in China. Congrats. You are the first ever, and I'm 100% positive there will be more Australian-born players in the future to grace the jerseys of an NHL franchise and wear their skates out on the ice and score some goals for Australia. You're the first person to take that really big step. Congrats. And congrats to Ovechkin. He's the best friggin' guy in the world. Is he not? I should have picked him in the pool. Oh, okay, Ovechkin. My thoughts on the Great Eight. So, Ovechkin, he got one after another goal in Montreal. His fourth goal game against Montreal. His third game where he scored 4 goals against Montreal, I believe. Jeez. Him in Montreal. Oh my god. So, Ovechkin was on pace to score in the first game, jokingly, was on pace to score 246 goals that season. Game after, he scores a hat trick, and everybody's like, that's 2 hat tricks. And then he scores another goal to top everything off. That's like the cherry on top. I could go for some cherries right now. Cherry pie. Cherry on a pie. Pie sounds good. Pie. Whipped cream sounds good. I just ate pie. Stop it, Owen. Stop it. So, what about pie? Ovechkin deserves a pie after that game. Good for him. The only reason I continued watching after the first period, I know all the casual Montreal Canadiens fans would be like, oh my god, what is this? Turn off the TV, go watch something else. I'm a person that hates myself. I have mentioned this before, I hate myself. Fair. I kept watching after the second period, like, you know what? We came out in the second period and we looked really good. And then we get shat on. Goal after goal after goal after goal. We got a goal and we like, you know what? It's only going to take a few to get in and there's a goal. Ovechkin? Oh, great. 4 goals. 7 goals in 2 games. Ovechkin, is he playing tonight? I'm going to check that out. NHL games. Google, don't fail me now. Do they play anybody? They're playing Tampa Bay right now. The Tampa Bay Lightning. Go ahead and go get a hat trick, Ovi. Ovechkin is so amazing at hockey. And last year, everybody was like, oh, he's really lost it, hasn't he? 30 goals is never a bad year for a player in the NHL. But he's a player that probably feels disappointed after a 30-goal season. I'm not surprised. It's Ovechkin. He pushes the limits. He gets mad. After 4 goals, I saw him getting mad after missed shots. He could have easily had a 7-goal game. The only reason I continued watching that game was because I wanted to see how many goals Ovechkin could get. And it was 4. 4. He has 565 career NHL goals. 565 goals. Do you know how many goals that is? He's been playing in the NHL since 2005. Well, that's 12 years. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. This is, oh my, would be his 13th season. Let me do the math. I'm doing the math. So before, so he had 550. I want to make sure I do my math right. 158, that's how math works. Divided by 12 seasons. So in 12 seasons he was averaging 46.5 goals a season. That's just basic. I'm not really going in account for games played in 923 NHL games. Let me do that. How about it? Why not? So 923 games divided by 565. I don't know if I did that right. He's scoring a lot of goals a game. Like, that's over half a goal a game. That's over a half a goal a game. When was the last time? He is the best scorer. He's the best scorer in 20 years. Easily. Easily. He passed somebody in the Montreal game for scoring. He needed three goals and he passed it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. He has 7 goals in 2 games. Think about this. He would have to score no goals in 5 games to be even, to be 500 with his games and goals. I haven't seen this in a long time. For a lot of players, it seems to happen every NHL season that people get off hot out of the gate and then they slow down during the season. That happens with a lot of players. Patrick Kane, Crosby. It happens. They get a lot of goals in their first couple of games, a lot of assists, a lot of points. 7 goals in two. That's over a goal a period. Think about that. Use your brain. Use your brain. Use your hockey brain and think about how incredible that is. Oh, he's Russian. Who friggin' cares? Greatest Russian player of all time. I said it. I don't care. Great. I don't care if he doesn't have the cup. He's the greatest Russian player. He's the greatest Russian-born player in NHL history. But he doesn't have a cup. Marcel Dion never won a cup, and he's one of the greats. Exactly. Shut your mouth. He has 1,046 points in 923 career games. You are witnessing greatness. By the end of his career, he could be in the top 3 in goals for. And you know what? I saw a tweet on Twitter. Quote: Ovechkin is just getting all these goals so he can dip out for the Olympics. This is what I've predicted. Not that he's scoring all these goals, but how it's very possible that he could dip out for the 2018 Olympics. He has Ovechkin money. You really think he cares? You know what? The league would probably suspend him a lot of games. Do you really think he cares? Do you really think he has a lot of faith in his team after 2 years of President's trophies? Maybe a third one. We're only 2 games into the season for the Washington Capitals. When was the last time a team won 3 President's trophies in a row? I know Vancouver won 2 in a row, and what did they do? Absolutely nothing. This Washington Capitals team, the one last year and the one before that, are one of the best teams to never win the Stanley Cup. Easily. Just like Vancouver was one of the best teams to never win a Stanley Cup a few years ago. That squad dissolved. They went into total chaos. They made the playoffs once or twice since then. And you know what happened to them? Absolutely nothing. Does Ovechkin really want that? He's getting older. Does he want an Olympic gold medal, which he know he can win? Russia has so many players outside of the NHL that are available for the Olympics. Team Canada isn't going to be so strong this year. And Ovechkin, what does he do? If I were Ovechkin, I would retire and just keep all my money. No, if I was Ovechkin, I would continue playing in the NHL this season, even past the Olympics. Because I know the Olympics are important, you know, Mother Russia, and Mother Russia, I must do it for Mother Russia. But it is very hockey. The Olympics are not as memorable as the Stanley Cup. When you think of hockey first, what do you think of? You don't think of the gold medals, you think of Lord Stanley. The Stanley Cup. Do you want your name on that list? On the cup? One of the captains to hoist the Stanley Cup. The first ever Washington Capitals captain to ever hoist the Stanley Cup. You never know. this is the season people are like, oh, it's past Washington's time. It could be one of those years where Washington goes out and slaughters people, slaughters teams. I saw it firsthand, and I was dumbfounded. It was incredible. It was incredible watching, even though I was disappointed with Montreal. It could be a lot of teams' years this year, if that makes any sense. Tampa Bay, Washington. Hey, hell, Vegas is undefeated. You want to talk about that? Let's move aside. Let's talk about the NHL standings. Because who doesn't want to talk about the NHL standings? We're only 3 games into the season, but let's talk about it. St. Louis is the best team in the league. They're undefeated. Chicago, Toronto, New Jersey, Los Angeles, the Angeles Kings, the Vegas Knights. Not even Golden. They're just Knights. They're the undefeated Vegas Golden Knights. James the real deal Neal. Incredible. So Chicago. Chicago. What the hell did Chicago do to Pittsburgh? Do you want to talk about that, or is Pittsburgh just sad? I don't think Pittsburgh Penguins fans are allowed to be sad. They just won 2 cups in a row. I don't even think Chicago Blackhawks fans should be allowed to be sad. These two teams just need to go away for a bit. But 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 3 cups in 6 years. Blah 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 blah. But Pens, we won 2 cups in 2 years. Well, good for you. Good for your management. So glad your management could go out and trade and win cups for the fans. You fans aren't allowed to be sad. Oh my, Detroit's undefeated, hoisting the Stanley Cup at the end of the season. It's going to be Vegas versus Detroit. Right? Book it. Book it. 2018 Stanley Cup Finals. Who's the worst team in the league? Worst team in the league? Winnipeg Jets, 0-2. Nobody really cares. Montreal. You want to talk about the only positive thing to come out of this past week? I mean, I guess a couple of positive things. Montreal in their first game against the Buffalo Sabres won 3-2 in a shootout victory. It was an entertaining game all around. Montreal, Buffalo scored first, Montreal tied it up. Buffalo scored early into the second period. Jason Pominville, population 2, because he scored 2 goals that game. And then Philip Degnaud tied it with an NHL 94 wraparound cheese goal. Cheat code. He just tucked it past the goalie. Wrap around the net. Around the world. I love techno. And then we went to overtime. Buffalo had a few chances. Montreal had a few chances. Drouin was on the rush with Pacioretty a couple times. Pacioretty can't pass for hell in these first few games. And then it went to the shootout. Buffalo got the first shot. Price is like, nope. And then Robin Leonard is like, nope. And then Cooper is like, nope. And then Jonathan Drouin with his silky, beautiful, heart emoji mitts. I haven't seen a player do this since. All right, Radulov did that a few times in the shootout. But I just want Drouin to get a few breakaways this season. How many times do you think if he is on a breakaway or in the shootout 10 times, how many times out of 10 do you think he's going to score? I would easily say over half. I would say 7. Right? He went forehand, backhand, You know, forehand, backhand, forehand, backhand. Beautiful. It's just beautiful. And that's how Detroit won their game against Ottawa. It was good in the shootout. Montreal won that game, and then, Washington, and then, the Rangers. And hey, we have a game tomorrow against the Chicago Blackhawks. Dang it! Oh no! Patrick Tanner's in my pool. I just want him to shut up for a few games, especially the game tomorrow. Tuesday night, for the home opener against the Chicago Blackhawks. Weird schedule for Montreal. Montreal has 14 back-to-back sets this season. That's 28 games back-to-back. The hell? What the hell are these people thinking? I know Toronto had a lot last year. They had like 13. But scheduling, like, it's weird this season. Like, to start the season, Buffalo makes sense. Then you have Washington. New York makes sense. Chicago? Ugh. It really doesn't. And I'm pretty sure we go on a West run soon. A West Coast trip, right? That's gonna be fun. And I was gonna make a video for the first game, Montreal versus Buffalo. I do have the footage for it, but I just feel it was rushed. I felt my thoughts were rushed. And I feel the content wouldn't be very good. Like, I did game by game during the playoffs last season. Game 1 through 6. I almost said 5, but Montreal lost in 6. Did I even do the 6th video, or was just so depressed? I might have been too depressed. I think I was too depressed. Was I depressed? I think I'm depressed. No, I'm joking. That's a bad joke. I'm sorry. No, I think maybe this is a possibility. I know I've made some weird things in the past. I'm going to do. I promise. I'm saying this now. I'm going to do a save montage after every month of play, because I've been looking through Twitter and screenshotting some saves, and I'm going to put them all together in a montage on my YouTube page. I know there's a popular, like my PK Subban tribute, that has 21,000 views. I'm very proud of that. I wish I could get some more views on my other channel, but I really don't care what anybody else thinks, because I'm doing this because I love to hear myself. This is a coping method. This is a coping method, right? For me, at least, I enjoy coping with my methods. Does that make any sense? And obviously, so what I was gonna say that I think I'm gonna do a week wrap up every week for the Montreal Canadiens. I'm thinking Saturday maybe. Every Saturday I do a week recap. I mean, I don't want it to be in the middle of the week, but does Saturday work? I'm gonna check what day the last game ends on. Montreal Canadiens. Montreal Canadiens. I'm gonna be able to find it. Whatever. I think Saturday would work. I don't want to do it like a Wednesday because it's the middle of the week. Like, I think the recap would be great on Saturday. I have more time to flesh it out. Maybe record the day and then edit it. Does that make... I think that's easier for me, and I can get... See, for me, in the heat of the moment, I might say something awful, like awful as in like it doesn't make any sense at all, which I that's why I didn't edit any of the footage at all. I have it. Also did cut my toe, like ripped skin off of it because I was doing something. I don't know. I did this last time where I knocked my tripod over. And this time I was trying to do a kick pad save, lift my foot up and I cut it right off a bucket and that was fun. So I think a recap a week. Does that make sense? See, my inspiration is Steve Dangle. Absolutely. He's my inspiration. That's even though he's a Leafs fan, he is the most entertaining person I've ever watched. He just is, and the idea of an LFR, Leafs fans' reaction, even though I'm not a Leafs fan, I think that's such a great idea, and I want to do that, but I don't think until I don't think. How do I word this? I feel I am not equipped to do this yet. The all 82 games, every game. Like I can do podcasts easy. Like I can roll them off easy. They're easy peasy for me because I just roll them off and I talk. I talk to myself for an hour. Is anybody gonna listen to this? Because I'm gonna listen to this after because I love listening to my voice. I don't even know what I'm gonna call this one. Trying to think of a play on words. Washington? Ovechkin? Ovechkin's really good at hockey. What else? What else is happening in the world right now? The world of hockey. Yes. Want to talk about a collapse? So so it was Saturday. It was hockey night in Canada. The Leafs were playing the New York Rangers, and they were up 5-1 against the Rangers. And Montreal was like, they were sharding the bed, and I was like, dang it. And then the Leafs were like, oh my God, it's 5-5. And I'm like, oh, if I can't be happy, you can't be happy. And I am glad. I am glad. If Montreal doesn't do, I like seeing Canadian teams succeed, but I want Montreal to succeed more, right? Exactly. Because I'm a Habs fan. I almost said I'm a Leafs fan, but you can curse me to hell if I ever say that. I'm I'm cursed. I love Montreal, but it's like a curse. I do this to myself, but it's not fair to myself. As I said, hockey's my getaway, but it makes me feel more horrendous than I already was. It's like, oh, if it's a good game, I feel happy, I feel stressless, and if Montreal loses 6-1 against Washington, I feel awful and I feel depressed and I feel, why do I like this team? I don't even like Montreal, quotation mark. I like Edmonton. I would never do that. I'm not a bandwagon fan. Screw those other teams. Montreal all the way. I have this love thing with Mété. Did I say that? Victor Mété. Victor Mété. Hey, Chicago's beating Toronto 2-0. End of the first. As I'm recording this. Go Chicago! That's the most annoying goal song ever. I can't name another one. It's like Do you know the one I'm talking about? I think you know the one I'm talking about. What other games are happening tonight? Winnipeg versus Edmonton. Connor McDavid, go get him. Hoping Connor McDavid does his due diligence and scores some goals, scores some hockey assists tonight. How many games are happening tonight? A few? Sorry. So, and then you have the Flames, Ducks. The Avalanche beat the Bruins 4-0. Let that sink in. The Avalanche of a team beat the other Avalanche of a team, the Yes Management, the Boston Bruins. Joe Sakic is the best general manager of all time. And the St. Louis Blues beat the Islanders in a shootout 3-2. And the Devils beat the Sabres 6-2. Oh, Buffalo's not having a very good start to the season. It is only 3 games into the season for some teams. It's 2 games for you. Oh, Montreal. What else is going on? Well, I don't really have anything nice to end off with, but Matheson signed an 8-year, $4.875 million per season deal with the Florida Panthers. That's nice for the Panthers. Now there's some. So how's my pool doing? Let me answer that. It's going okay. Patrick Kane keeps getting some multi-point games. My goalie still hasn't really done anything. Hey, Matt Murray, he's doing okay. It's a basic pool. It's like a float. It's like one of those blow-up pools, and we just pick 14 players, sort of thing, right? Yeah. This is a very, very anticlimactic, very, very anticlimactic end to the podcast. Is it not? It's a Monday. It's a Monday. Wow, it's Tuesday tomorrow. Isn't that weird? Wow. I'm just trying to think of something nice to end it off with. Over to you. How's the weather looking out there? It's nice and dark, just like my soul. There's the three stars of the week. This is a nice way to end it off. This is heartwarming to see. Wayne the Pain Train Simmons as the star of the week. He's had a fantastic week overall. Let's see his stats. Wayne Simmons has had 4 goals. That's pretty good. Second star is Marc-Andre Fleury for the best team in the NHL, the Vegas Golden Knights. Fleury went 2-0 with a under 1 goals against average and a .973 save percentage. That's all to do with James the Real Deal Neal. And you know what? First star of the week, I don't see anybody else deserving of the first star. First star of the week is Tanner Glass, 0 points. Tanner Glass is best in the world. Go Tanner Glass!